Nithyanandam Swamiji.
Please, go ahead.
Swamiji, I usually speak only to my mother. At least for the past 10 years, I will not speak to my father.
Wow.
Yes, Swamiji.
10 years you have not spoken.
Not spoken, Swamiji.
It's like my story. When I left the house in 1995, 7 years they don't know where I am. They were not aware where I am. So 2000 I became enlightened, means realized my avataric mission. And 2000 end, I came to Tiruvannamalai temple. I was sitting in a temple, hungry, no food, in this very town, and wanted to go and see the mother because I had something incomplete with her. I should tell you my story, how I completed. I had a very close relationship with my mother. I should tell how I completed. Had a very close relationship with my mother till the age of 17 and a half. Till I left the house, I was sleeping with her only. And all the family people will make fun. In Tamil, they say that you are constantly holding a pallu of mother. What do you call in English or Sanskrit, English or Hindi? You have any term for it? A mother's pet. Mother's pet. So I was like that guy. Even while cooking, when she cooks, I'll sit in the kitchen and tell some stories and playing. She was very close to me. And I had one big problem from the 12, when I had enlightened first experience at the age of 12. After that, I developed something like a bedwetting. Every night, now I found out why it happened, because body started falling into samadhi. The signal that bladder is full never reached brain. And even now when body falls into deep samadhi, the same thing happens. From 12 to 17 and a half, around what, 4.5 years or 5 years? 5 years? 5 years. Every day I will do bedwetting. Morning she has to wake up and change her saree, change the bed sheet, dry the whole thing on the roof of the house. It is such a big headache, but even once she has not scolded me. And I was life for her. I was very close to her. Everything I'll share. Even the Swamis, the spiritual work I am doing and all that I'll share with her. 17 and a half, one day I decided to leave the house. Actually, the day I left the house, just 3 days before, I had the darshan of Ramakrishna and Sharada Devi. The moment they appeared, I asked Sharada Devi, please initiate me. Then Sharada Devi, I asked Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna said, Sharada Devi is best for initiations. Then Sharada Devi put her hand on me and both of them disappeared into my body. After this darshan, I have decided I will not stay, I will start my spiritual pilgrimage. So I was sitting on the steps door frame. My mother was sitting down. And that was one funny thing. The way I grew up, no one, including my father, will sit in front of me in any chair. I don't know how you will understand. From the beginning, I'll sit in the sofa or chair. No one will sit in front of me. You can talk to my mother, she's here. No one will sit in front of me. As my guru has declared, I am a yogi or sadhu. My whole family believed that and nobody will sit in front of me. So she was sitting down and I was sitting on the door frame. And I told her, I am leaving to take sannyas. In Tamil I said, Sami sannyasattukku pogudhu. That's it. She just broke and started putting the cloth on the face, she started crying. I looked into her eyes and said, "Do you mean to say I should not go?" Penna, போகக்கூடாதுன்றீங்களா? The same voice, same tone. She said, "No, no, 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 I cannot say you cannot go. I am not able to handle, so I am crying." Then she hugged me. Usually I am the person who always will cuddle with her. Even while she is cooking, I will always be cuddling with her and playing, making fun, all. Such close child. She hugged me. I did not even put my hand back. I was like a dry fire. The fire of renunciation was so strong. I did not put my hand back to hug her. Before even she felt completed the hug, I moved my body out. I still remember. I moved my body out. Naturally, she has to take her body out. That of unfulfilled heat continued in my body even after enlightenment. Please understand. Even after I realized my avataric mission, that off hug, the unfulfilled hug, all of you understand what I am saying? That when you hug somebody with a lot of love and that person is just cold and slowly moves his body out, how it will feel? And you fellow, both of you used to hug till yesterday night, whole day and night. Suddenly I am moving the body out. And that half hug, unfulfilled, her hangover, please understand, if she would have fought with me, don't go, I would not have had hangover. She was completely supporting me. When she is supporting me, I should have at least responded to her human emotions, which I did not, because of my Vedanta, Vairagya, world is illusion and all that. The strength, I always tell people, knowledge tells I am nobody, love tells I am everybody, my life flows between these two. My knowledge tells I am nobody, my love tells I am everybody, my life is flowing between these two. So that was the time my knowledge was telling I am nobody. The renunciation in its peak. But I should have given her a little time to settle down with my renunciation. And it's not that she is not ready to cope up with my renunciation. She was ready. My father entered the scene and shouted at my mother, "Did you scream at Swamiji? Did you tell anything?" And I wanted you to know, from the time I remember me, I was called as Swami. I was never addressed by my parental name, even once, by any of my relatives. From the age of 3, I remember I was called only as Swami. That uncompleted hug, even though there was no hurting by the word, but by the body language, the incompletion. When my father shouted at her, "Did you shout at him?" and all that, she said, "No, I have not told anything." I did not respond. I just kept quiet. Next day, it was almost like a death house. In the main veranda, the main hall, in the sofa, I am sitting as if my dead body is lying. And all the relatives in my community, we are a huge joint family. So within a second, I can say in half an hour, 1 hour, easily 300-400 people will gather for anything, whether it is good thing or bad thing. And the whole village is sitting in front of me. Each one is giving their advice. My aunt, my father's elder brother's wife, aunt, she tells, "I will hang myself with the sari in the fan." That's a typical village way of committing suicide. My family prestige, I belong to the Jameen family. Jameen means the local landlords. It's called Chamundi Jameen. The mother worshippers. There is a story that the Chamundi, the Chandamunda, both demons were killed here nearby a village called Chamundi. It is there. Even now the village is there. And little land is there. Of course now when they divided, each one will get only 10 feet by 10 feet. It's a 3-generation property. It is there, and we were supposed to worship Devi and run that landlord, that whole thing. And we were also called the first flat roof house in the city. This was the first house built in the whole city, flat roof, 300 years before they built. And so she is screaming, what will happen to my family prestige? I'll hang in the fan with my sari and commit suicide. I called her. She thought I'm going to console her. She's a little heavy person. I told, your sari will tear and the fan will break. Better you take the rope and hang in the ceiling. Hang in the beam. Beam is called in Tamil Uttaram. நீ சேலையை போட்டு ஃபேனில் தொங்கினா ஃபேனும் உடையும் சேலையும் கிளியும். நீ என்ன பண்ணு, கயிறு போட்டு உத்தரத்தில் தொங்கு, கட்டாயம் செத்து போவ. I told her in Tamil, you better hang with a rope on the beam. You will surely die. Don't do foolish things. That's it. She got her anger, and you fellow, you are telling me to die? You get out of the house. You get out of the house. I told, that is what I am telling I am going to do. Now you understand. All your love and everything. The moment I said one word, you die. Immediately what happened to all your love? All your family prestige? Then another one uncle. My father's sister's husband. He comes. Are we all not living a spiritual life, living in the householder life, in the family itself? I looked at him. Hey, in singular I addressed. I know. I'm a very respectful person. I used to be very cultured and very nice with that guy because he was very kind, very loving to me, and for various reasons. So I always used to be very loving and kind with him. And he was also planning to get his second daughter married to me. So in villages, the moment the child takes birth, they will immediately tie the knot. So he had 2 daughters. The first one was tied with my elder brother, and second one was tied with me. So he was son-in-law. So he was very kind, and he was telling me, but I was burning fire. I looked at him and said, hey, morning the moment you get up, you wash your face with alcohol. You are living spiritual life? In the open meeting I said, he used to drink. And I know that his habit. Because he will bring in the newspaper and put it under arms and put shawl. In the late night he will come. The only 2 people are the late night arrivals in the house. One is he, another one is me. He has his own reason, I have my own reason. I will be sitting in the cremation ground with Raghupati Yogi and Yogi Ram Swaratkumar meditating, and I will come very late. So usually, after I reach the house, after half an hour only he will come, and he will have that shawl and the underarm, that bottle, and he will be little imbalanced. All I will do whenever he comes is, I will open the house. I had my own key. One key was given to me. I will open the house, just pull the shawl out. The bottle will be seen. And he will tell, no, hey, kerosene. In village, you buy kerosene in the bottle. You have to go to the shop and buy kerosene in the bottle. I tell him, no, all the ration kerosene is brought by mother and your wife. Why are you bringing kerosene in the night? Then he will not answer. So I know his habit. He will take it secretly and keep in his room, and next day morning he will drink. And I told him, you fellow, you wash your face with alcohol. What kind of spiritual life you are talking about? Then immediately he got angry. You told everything about me in the open public. You fellow, get out of the house. You should not live in the house. I will not give my daughter to you. As if I asked you or what. That is what I am telling. I don't want your daughter. And I don't want the marriage. I want to get out of the house. That's what I am telling. Then he got silenced. Then all these old ladies, they were wiping the face, wiping the tears. They went and tried to convince me through different people. They could not go and reach out to Kuppammal or Raghupati Yogi because both of them are dead. But they reached out to Raghupati Yogi's wife. She said, I cannot interfere. She just left it. Anyhow, I told my mother on a Sunday evening, night, Wednesday, noon, I left the house. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 2.5 days I gave them time. I sat and received all the crying of the whole village, answered everybody, then left the house. It was a very funny way I left the house. And anyhow I wandered length and breadth of India, stayed in different monasteries and meditated, met many masters, had that experience of realizing my mission and incarnation in 2000. So 2001, when I was settling into the body, I felt there is something incomplete in my body. That hangover, biomemory of my mother, which I did not respect or respond, that was there. So I felt till I go and hug my mother again and complete that hug, it will not be healed. I came to Thiruvannamalai. I went to the house where my mother used to stay. That house, nobody recognized me. Because my father has sold the house and they left. They went away somewhere. I went there. That my mother used to do a lot of annadanam, when any sadhu comes. So when I came and I asked my mother and father's name in that house, they said, no, they are not here now. I asked, where are they now staying? Can you tell me? Tell us. Tell me. They said, no, we don't know where they are staying, where their address. If you want food, go to Ramanashram or Seshadri Ashram, they will give food. I just smiled and said, it's okay. I went away to temple. And the temple I was sitting, I think yesterday I showed a small 4-pillared mandapam where I was sitting. And I was just sitting. It became very late evening, maybe 10 o'clock. And hungry. I was just smiling. Wow. In Thiruvannamalai, sitting and feeling hungry. No food. And smiling. I could see that the Devi temple priest, Devi temple priest, he ran and came some prasadam, the temple nivedyam. And he said, Sadhu, you are sitting here without food, please eat. I was eating. After I ate, I was sitting. From distance I could see one of my classmates has recognized me. And he did not come near, he ran. The way he ran, I understood he recognized me. In 10 minutes, in my vision, my mother is standing. But she was afraid to come near and talk to me. She was just standing with the folded hands. The moment I recognized, actually she was coming in the side, the moment I recognized, a big smile, I looked at her. With a big smile. And then she was very comfortable. And she asked, Swamiji is doing well, keeping well. Swami, nalla irukka? I said, nalla irukku Swami. Then, first thing I did, I just hugged her. When I hugged her, she could not control. She broke. I could see that hug 7 years before or 8 years before, which was left incomplete, is getting completed. And maybe 10 minutes That was my first hug, maybe after realization, after enlightenment. And 10 minutes, I was hugging her and she was sitting. Those days nobody will come to temple. It was not crowded place. And then after she finished crying, after I felt complete, the hug is completed, when she herself moved her body out, only then I took my hands out. Then she said, come to the house and eat. I said, I'll come, but only you have to, if you treat me as a sadhu and give me Purana Kumbha and all the respects, I'll come. She said, okay. Next day, I went to the house and she gave all the Purana Kumbha, did Pada Puja with all the relatives and gave the food. Then when I was completed, in that last thing also is completed, the samadhi became again, started expressing. See, that body started staying in samadhi because the last pattern which was there has disappeared. So I walked from there, from the house to here, came and exactly sat on this property. It was not our property at that time. Behind there is a temple. We all sat, na? In that same temple, same place where I was sitting, I came and sat. Almost 2.5 days I was staying there, lying. My classmate's mother, she used to give food for me. She will bring food once in a day. One day my mother also brought food. Then after that again I started my wandering. Even after enlightenment, if you don't complete, the hangover still is there. Understand? So do not leave even a single pattern uncompleted. Single thing uncompleted. Don't leave. You will not be able to rest in peace. You will not be able to relax in peace. Renunciation comes, strength comes when your knowledge says you are nobody. When your love says you are everybody, that is the time fulfillment of the renunciation and completion of the strength comes.